Hello friends, my name is Raju. I am working as a lecturer in Government Polytechnic for Women, Warangal. Today in this lecture, we are discussing about frequency multiplier, FM demodulator, use of op-amp circuits in instrumentation, difference between op-amp and instrumentation amplifier, need for instrumentation amplifier, 3 op-amp instrumentation amplifier. So in this lecture, we are first of all discussing about frequency multiplier. Frequency multiplier. This is the one of the application of PLL. It is the one of the application of PLL, phase lock loop. Using PLL, we multiply the frequency any number of times. If you have the 200 megahertz, if you want to convert 400 megahertz or 600 megahertz or 800 megahertz, any multiples of 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, we convert the frequency. This is called frequency multiplier. In this circuit, there is a input signal. It's have the frequency Fs and the phase detector. It goes the phase detector. What is the function of phase detector? It multiplies the time domain signals and generate the addition in the frequency domain signal. Phase detector. Next stage is low pass filter. Next error amplifier. Voltage control is give to voltage control oscillator. The output of the voltage control oscillator is F0. Here F0 equal to NFS. Here there is a divided by N network. Then the output of the divided by N network is F0 by N. Here in the slide, the figure shows the black diagram for a frequency multiplier using PLL 565. Here A divided by N network is inserted between the voltage control oscillator output and the phase comparator input. Here divided by N network is inserted between voltage control oscillator output and the phase comparator input. So after divided by N network, we get the frequency F0 by N. Since the output of the divider is locked, to the input frequency Fs, then the voltage control oscillator is actually running at a multiple of so Fs, the voltage control oscillator is actually running at multiple of the input frequency. Therefore, in the lock state, the voltage control oscillator output frequency F0 is given by F0 equal to N into Fs. So here Fs is the input signal frequency. It is multiplied by N times. Then we take the output from voltage control oscillator output. That means here F0 equal to N into Fs. Here N is called multiplier. If you take Fs is 100 Hz, then N is equal to 1, 100 Hz, N is equal to 200 Hz, N is equal to 300 Hz. If you replace the divided by N network in another N number, then the automatically the frequency multiplication of frequency is changed. It depends on divided by N network. The F0 frequency depends on divided by N network. Next, by selecting proper divider by N network, we can obtain desired multiplication. Example, if f naught is equal to 6fs, we want to multiply it with 6, then divided by n should be equal to 6. If you want f naught equal to 8fs, then divided by n network should be equal to 8. So in this way we multiply the frequency. Next application is FM demodulator. One of the application of the PLL is FM demodulator. What is mean by demodulator? It's receives the signal, modulator signal, and it demodulates the signal, and finally we get the our original signal from the modulated signal. In this FM demodulator, here input signal is FM signal, there is a phase detector, next low pass filter, next one error amplifier, and there is a feedback voltage control oscillator. Finally we get demodulated output. When the PLL is locked in on the FM signal, the voltage control oscillator frequency follows the instantaneous frequency of the FM signal. And the error voltage or voltage control oscillator control voltage is proportional to the deviation of the input frequency from the center frequency. Therefore, the AC component of error voltage or control voltage of voltage control oscillator will represent a true replica of the modulating voltage that is applied to the FM carrier at the transmitter. So here the faithful reproduction of modulating voltage depends on the linearity between the instantaneous frequency deviation and the control voltage of voltage controlled oscillator. So here when the PLL is locked on the FM signal, the voltage controlled oscillator frequency follows the instantaneous frequency of the FM signal, and the error voltage or VCO control voltage is proportional to the deviation of the input frequency from the center frequency. Therefore, the AC component of error voltage or control voltage of voltage control oscillator will represent a true replica of the modulating voltage that is applied to the FM carrier at the transmitter. The faithful reproduction of modulating voltage depends on the linearity between the instantaneous frequency deviation and the control voltage of the voltage control oscillator. It is also important that FM frequency deviation and the modulating frequency should remain in the locking range of PLL to get the faithful replica of the modulating signal. If the product of the modulation frequency FM and the frequency deviation exceeds the voltage control oscillator, will not be able to follow the instantaneous frequency variations of the FM signal. So in FM frequency deviation and the modulating frequency should remain in the locking range of PLL to get the faithful replica of the modulating signal. If the product of the modulation frequency FM and the frequency deviation exceeds, the voltage control oscillator will not be able to follow the instantaneous frequency variations of the FM signal. Next, in this lecture we are discussing about use of op-amp circuits in instrumentation. So here this is the op-amp. One of the application of op-amp is a difference amplifier. What does it mean by difference amplifier? It amplifies between the difference between the two input signals. It amplifies the difference between the two signals. That is V1, V2. Next R1, R2, next R3, R4. So here at V1 there is R1, R2 resistors, at inverting terminal R1, R2 resistors, non-inverting terminal R3, R4 resistors. Then the input voltages are V1 and V2. V1 and V2. The voltage gain of here, the voltage gain is difference. The voltage gain of the difference amplifier is V0 equal to R2 minus R2 by R1 V1. So here apply the superposition theorem. Here apply the superposition. First of all, V1 present, V2 absent. Then the output voltage V0 equal to minus R2 by R1 into V1. When positive terminal V2 absent, R3, R4 have no resistance value. That means there is a zero voltage. That means positive terminal is grounded. Positive terminal is grounded. Due to virtual circuit, virtual short, positive terminal is grounded. At the same time, negative terminal also grounded. Then we apply our simple nodal analysis. We get the value minus R2 by R1 into V1. If V1 absent and V2 present, V1 absent, then V2 present, then the output voltage is 1 plus R2 by R1 into R4 by R3 plus R4 into V2. 1 plus R2 by R1 into R4 by R3 plus R4 into V2. So here the resistance values R1 equal to R3. If you select the resistance values, R1 equal to R3 and R2 equal to R4. R1 equal to R3 and R2 equal to R4. Then V0 equal to minus R2 by R1 into V1 plus 1 plus R2 by R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2 into V2. That equal minus R2 by R1 into V1 plus R2 by R1 into V2. Finally we get R2 by R1 into V2 minus V1. R2 by R1 into V2 minus V1. Here gain, here we want to calculate gain. A equal to V0 by V2 minus V1. V0 by V2 minus V1, that is called R2 by R1. So again we discuss about the calculations. Here V0 equal to minus R2 by R1 into V1 plus 1 plus R2 by R1 into R4 by R3 plus R4 into V2. Here R1 equal to R3 and R2 equal to R4. V0 equal to minus R2 by R1 into V1 into plus 1 plus R2 by R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2 into V2 equal to minus R2 by R1 into V1 plus R2 by R1 into V2. V0 equal to V2 minus V1 into R2 by R1. Here gain A equal to V0 by V2 minus V1 in equal to R2 by R1. Thus the difference input V2 minus V1 get amplified by the ratio R2 by R1. This gain is same as that of the inverting amplifier. The main limitation of this circuit are to be used as instrumentation amplifier is its input impedance. The input impedance of the circuit is very low. The input impedance of the circuit is very low. Next, let me see a difference between op amp and instrumentation amplifier. What is the difference between op amp and instrumentation amplifier? An operational amplifier, abbreviated as op amp, is an operational amplifier also called op amp. It is a multi-stage differential amplifier multi-stage differential amplifier. So here op amps have two inputs and one output. Here op amp have two inputs, inverting input, non-inverting input, and it have one output. The various linear applications of op amp are inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, voltage follower, integrator, differentiator, instrumentation. The applications of the op amp is it is used as a inverting amplifier and non-inverting amplifier. It is used as a voltage follower. The output voltage followed by the input voltage. Integrator. When we apply the input signal, it is integrated by the circuit. And differentiator. And also it is used as the instrumentation amplifier. The various non-linear applications of op amp are comparator, schematic trigger, zero crossing detector, lag amplifier, and precision rectifier. Here comparator compares the two signals and schematic trigger. What is the purpose of schematic trigger? It converted the sinusoidal signal to rectangular waveform. A zero crossing detector. Zero crossing detector means it detects the zero. When the zero is crossing, its output is changes. This is one of the application, lag amplifier and precision rectifier. Most of the precision rectifier used in instrumentation purpose only. So here instrumentation amplifier is the special amplifier which is used for low level amplification. Instrumentation of amplifiers are used in low level amplification with high CMRR, high input impedance to avoid loading. Low power consumption and some other features is called as an instrumentation amplifier. Low power consumption and some other features is called as an instrumentation amplifier. Special featured instrumentation amplifiers have become an integral part of modern testing and measurement instrumentation. Instrumentation amplifiers usually have three inputs, and here three inputs are reference input, positive terminal input, and negative terminal input, and the gain control facility and one output. Instrumentation amplifier have three inputs. One is three inputs, that is reference is an input and it's have the gain control and one output. An instrumentation amplifier is special kind of differential amplifier. It is differential amplifier, but the input impedance of and the two inputs is very high. Normal op amp compared to normal amplifier, it's have the very high input impedance. Compared to normal operational amplifier, instrumentation amplifier have very high input impedance. Next we are discussing about need for instrumentation amplifier. Here the instrumentation amplifier usually is a special kind of differential amplifier. In general, it is a differential amplifier. The input impedance is very very high. The instrumentation amplifier is also called a data amplifier and is basically a difference amplifier. Here gain is V0 by V2 minus V1. So next we are discussing about need for instrumentation amplifier. In many industrial applications, consumer systems and process control systems require precise measurement of the physical quantities like temperature, pressure, humidity, weight, etc. The measurement of the physical quantities is generally carried out with the help of the device called a transducer. Here we use transducer. Transducer convert the physical quantity into electrical signal. A transducer is a device which converts one form of energy into another form. It converts like pressure, humidity, temperature into electrical energy. If you take one example, if you take thermocouple, it converts heat energy into electrical energy. If you take a microphone, it converts sound energy into electrical energy. If you take strain gauge, it converts pressure or force into electrical energy. So here electrical signal output from a transducer can be used further to control or operate the parts of the system, other parts of the system. So at that span we use the instrumentation amplifier. But most of the transducers output are generally a very low level signals. It's a very very low level signal. That is, the strength of the signal is very very less. So these low level signals are not sufficient to drive the next stage of the system. So that the transducers used may be mounted on pieces of equipment or structure which are remote from the control location. Due to this, the signal, which itself is low level, gets subject to the noise and atmosphere interference. Such a signal may be as low as few millivolts to few microvolts. So at this stage, the millivolt signal, microvolt signal did not drive the another circuits. That's why it's compulsory amplified by the instrumentation amplifier. So it is necessary to amplify the level of such signal, rejecting the noise and the interference. A generated signal ended amplifier like high gain emitter amplifier is not suitable to amplify such signals. For rejection of noise, such amplifiers must have high common mode rejection ratio. Hence, a special amplifier is used to amplify such signals. The special amplifier which is used for such a low level amplification with high CMRR, high input impedance to avoid loading, low power consumption and some other features is called instrumentation amplifier. The instrumentation amplifier are mainly used to amplify very small differential signals from strain gauges, thermocouples or current sensing devices in motor control systems. Next we are discussing about 3 op amp instrumentation amplifier. The circuit diagram shows the 3 op-amp instrumentation amplifier. Here we use the 3 op-amps A1, A2, A3. A1, A2, A3 are the op-amps, and it's have the inverting terminals and non-inverting terminals. Here there is a RF1 resistor, RG is variable resistor, which the resistance value of the RG is varies according to only. Next there is a RF2 resistor. Then A1 negative terminal connected to in between RF1 and RG, and A2 inverting terminal connected to in between RG and RF2. Then there is a input signals V1 and V2. Then the output of the op-amp is op-amp 1 A1, and operational amplifier A2 is connected to third operational amplifier inverting and non-inverting terminals. Here V1 applied at positive, that means non-inverting input terminal of the A1, and V2 is applied at a non-inverting terminal of the A2. Then A1 output connected to through R1 inverting amplifier of the inverting terminal of the A3. Next V2 output connected to positive terminal, that is non-inverting terminal of the A3 through R1. Here R2 is the feedback resistor of the R3, feedback resistor of the A3, that means third op-amp feedback resistor is R2. Then the output voltage is operational amplifier A3 output, that means V0. So this circuit provides high input resistance for accurate measurement of signals from transducers. In this circuit, a non-inverting amplifier is added to each of the basic difference amplifier inputs. Here the op-amps A1 and A2 are the non-inverting amplifiers forming the input or first stage of the instrumentation amplifier. The op-amp A3 is the normal difference amplifier forming an output stage of the amplifier. Here the circuit shows the 3 op-amp instrumentation amplifier. It can be seen that the output state is a standard basic difference amplifier. So if the output of the op-amp A1 is V01 and the output of the op-amp A2 is V02, we can write V0 equal to R2 by R1 V02 minus V01. Here V0 equal to R2 by R1 V02 minus V01. Next we are applying the Ohm's law between the nodes E and F. We get I equal to V01 minus V02 by RF plus RG plus RF2. RF1 equal to RF2 equal to RF. RF1 equal to RF2 equal to RF. Then I equal to V01 minus V02 by 2 RF plus RG. V01 minus V02 by 2 RF plus RG. Next we are applying the Ohm's law between the nodes G and H. We get I equal to Vg minus Vh by Rg. I equal to Vg minus Vh by Rg, that equal V1 minus V2 by Rg. V1 minus V2 by Rg. Next, by equating the two equations from 2 and 3, we get V01 minus V02 by 2 RF plus Rg equal to V1 minus V2 by Rg. Here V01 minus V02 by 2 RF plus Rg equal to V1 minus V2 by Rg. V02 minus V01 by 2 RF plus Rg equal to V2 minus V1 by Rg. V2 minus V1 by Rg. Here V02 minus V01 by 2 RF plus Rg equal to V2 minus V1 by Rg. Here V02 minus V01 equal to 2 RF plus Rg into V2 minus V1 by Rg. V2 minus V1 by Rg. Here V02 minus V01 equal to 2 RF plus Rg into V2 minus V1 by Rg. We are substituting the equation 4 in equation 1. We get V0 equal to R2 by R1 into 2 RF plus Rg divided by Rg into V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. Here V0 equal to R2 by R1 into 1 plus 2 RF by Rg into V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. Here again we discuss. Here V0 equal to R2 by R1, V02 minus V01. Then according to Ohm's law, I equal to V01 minus V02 by RF plus Rg plus RF2. If you take RF1 equal to RF2 equal to RF, then I equal to V01 minus V02 by 2 RF plus Rg. Next we apply the Ohm's law between the nodes G and H. We get I equal to Vg minus Vh by Rg. Vg minus Vh by Rg, that equal V1 minus V2 by Rg. Next, by equating two equations 2 and 3, we get V01 minus V02 by 2 RF plus Rg equal to V1 minus V2 divided by Rg. V02 minus V01 equal V01 by 2 RF plus Rg equal to V2 minus V1 by Rg. V02 minus V01 equal to 2 RF plus Rg into V2 minus V1 by Rg. Next we substitute the equation 4 in equation 1. We get V0 equal to R2 by R1 into 2 RF plus Rg divided by Rg into V2 minus V1. Then finally we got V0 equal to R2 by R1 into 1 plus 2 RF by Rg into V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. And also, so this is the, so in this lecture we are discussed about PLL applications like frequency multiplier and demodulator, and op amp applications used op amp used in instrumentation amplifier, and the basic difference between the operational amplifier and instrumentation. What is the basic difference between operational amplifier and instrumentation amplifier? And also we discussed about what is the need for instrumentation amplifier. What is the need for instrumentation amplifier? And also we are discussing about instrumentation amplifier using 3 op amps. Here we are using 3 op amps. Then we design the instrumentation amplifier. So thank you very much.